Hello friends, welcome to the third lecture on biogeochemical cycles. Number of times it becomes very difficult to memorize various processes under the biogeochemical cycles. Today in this video, I have tried to explain the entire biogeochemical cycle of phosphorus with the help of a single figure called as a concept map. Let us see. The cyclic movement of phosphorus between the biosphere and geosphere is called biogeochemical cycle of phosphorus. This is an example of sedimentary cycle. In this figure, the entire biogeochemical cycle is shown. Let us discuss step by step. The reservoir of phosphate is phosphate-bearing rock which is present in earth crust. The mineral is called as apatite and the chemical formula is CaPO4 3OH. This phosphate is added to the ecosystem by three different processes. The first process is tectonic movement. The earth crust is covered by various tectonic plates and these plates are moving, these plates are floating over the lava. We know that the tectonic plate of Indian subcontinent is moving towards north direction, towards North Pole, whereas the Tibetan tectonic plate is stable one. The tectonic movements results in earthquakes, tsunamis or volcanic eruptions. These movements expose phosphate-bearing rock to the atmosphere. Once the rock is exposed, the process of weathering starts. The effect of light and temperature on the phosphate rock is an example of physical weathering of the rock. In presence of rainwater and moisture, these rocks interact with atmosphere and it results in chemical weathering of the rock. Similarly, the living organisms like as phosphate solubilizing bacteria and lichens, they also interact on phosphate bearing rocks and bring the phosphate to ecosystem through their enzymatic activities. So by these three means, physical, chemical and biological weathering process, the phosphate is added to the ecosystem. The third important process of phosphate adding is phosphate fertilizers which are used by the farmers. So this is an example of anthropogenic activity. The farmers use phosphate-rich fertilizers as phosphate is one of the macronutrients required by the plants. The phosphate from the phosphate-bearing rocks comes to the soil in the form of inorganic phosphate, that is PO4-3. This is available and water soluble. It is utilized by the living organisms, especially by the plants. This process of utilization of inorganic phosphate is called as phosphate assimilation. The phosphate is utilized for synthesis of the nucleic acids, namely DNA and RNA. These are polynucleotides and each nucleotide has sugar, nitrogen base and phosphate. Similarly, the energy currency adenosine triphosphate has 3 molecules of phosphate. And in phospholipids, the phosphate is one of the constitutional element. Phospholipids are essential for development of the membranes, the cell membranes, the nuclear membrane or membrane of all types of cell organelles are made up of phospholipids and proteins. So the inorganic phosphate is assimilated by living organisms for the synthesis of various organic phosphate-rich products. The organic phosphate is passed on through various tropical levels. So from the plants, it will be utilized by the herbivores and by carnivores and so on. Now after the death of the plants and animals, their body comes to the soil. Similarly, the excreta of the animals and through the waste material of the plants, the organic phosphates comes down to the soil. Here the organic phosphate is converted into inorganic phosphate by the process called as decomposition or mineralization. The excess phosphate which is present in ecosystem is washed out by heavy rainfall and wrong irrigation practices. The phosphate wash-off phosphate comes to the aquatic ecosystem where the phytoplanktons and the aquatic plants, they will utilize this phosphate. Again, this phosphate will enter into the aquatic ecosystem and will be passed on in the food chain. Here also, after death of the algae and after death of the living organisms in aquatic ecosystem, the phosphate mineralization process occurs. The excess phosphate may leads in the eutrophication of the water bodies which are having a limited source of water like as lakes. The next process in phosphate cycle is immobilization of the phosphate or adsorption of the phosphate. The phosphate ions are adsorbed by the rock or they are immobilized and converted into sedimentary rock. Such type of sedimentary phosphate rocks are settled down into the aquatic system as well as they are sedimented in the earth crust. So in this way, the phosphate rock is added to its cycle and the biogeochemical cycle of phosphorus is completed. You can take a screenshot of this figure. You can reproduce this figure. It will help to understand you the different processes which are present in biogeochemical cycle. The other details of biogeochemical cycles are presented in 2 more videos. The links are provided in the description below. See you in next video. Thank you.